Well, all right, we have arrived.
Did any,
We're here somewhere.
did anybody hear me at all?
We
Now,
did
While
not
I
hear
was
you.
talking.
We did not hear any words. We heard fantastic, unless you were playing that music, and we heard nothing.
I will tell you, I have not had a good time starting this show today. My internet is going slow, so if I come in and out, you'll know why. The internet's not working very well this evening. But we are going to talk World Championship Wrestling right here on Pro Wrestling Inside Now. Welcome, everyone. And Rodney, let's get to it. October 19th, 1985, World Championship Wrestling.
All right, we begin the program with the legendary event between the Andersons, Ric Flair, and Dusty Rhodes from the Omni. I do believe that was from the Omni, where Ric Flair came off the top rope and broke the ankle of Dusty, and of course setting up for the big Starrcade event. Then we come with the open with David Crockett, Tony Schiavone. They talk about Dusty at the program, and also the beginnings of Starrcade 85 is coming up very shortly. And we'll be talking about that a little bit later. Match number 1, Jimmy Valiant versus the Golden Terror. Jimmy Valiant comes over to the the desk. He's talking about Big Mama, talking about Cornette, goes in the ring, and it doesn't last long. Golden Terror goes down with a elbow and then the elbow drop. And apparently the elbow drop was the move of the day, because a lot of those matches end with elbow drops. Anyway, so we come back with Jim Cornette. He's talking about Jimmy Valiant. Rocky King, he's talking about Big Mama. And I'm not sure if you all noticed it, but Cornette was editing himself, self-editing through that. There was a lot of pauses. like he said, you know what? I don't think I should say that. It came off great. I thought it came off great. Match number 2 was the Italian Stallion versus Black Bart with James J. Dillon. Italian Stallion misses a drop kick off the rope. Or misses a drop kick when Black Bart holds on to the rope, and then another elbow drop. Black Bart wins in that one. And then we go to interview with the Southern Heavyweight Champion at the time, Chief Wahoo McDaniel. He's talking about Dusty. He's talking about that he would be taking some of Dusty's places since he's out because of the injury. He talks about Ole Anderson. He talks about Ric Flair. He talks about teaming with Ronnie Garvin and Magnum TA. Tremendous interview. I always loved Wahoo McDaniel. Interview with the superstar Billy Graham. He's talking Ric Flair and possibly, I believe, some vehicle vandalism. You need to talk about Ted DiBiase about that. He does some vehicle vandalism as well. Match number 3, Arn Anderson against Ricky Reeves. Of course, Arn Anderson winning that one with the Gork Buster. And then he goes over and does an interview, and he talks about being the world television champion, and he just takes it for himself, even though he's not the champion. We'll see a little bit later on about what happens there. Cornette's back again, and he's introducing the Midnight Express against Mac Jeffers, Brady Boone. Brady Boone, awesome wrestler. I wish we could have seen more of him in the matches and see exactly what he could do. It's just awesome. I thought Cornette told David Crockett right off during that match. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but he sure did. In the end, it's Dennis Condrey, Bobby Eaton with the rocket launcher on Mac Jeffers. Then we go to a great announcer, Roger Kent, talking about Starrcade 85, talking about the history, the 50th anniversary, Jim Crockett Promotions. And to do it this year, Jim Crockett Jim Crockett Jr. announced that they will be actually in 2 locations in Starrcade 1985. They're going to be at the Omni in Atlanta, Greensboro Coliseum. Of course, Starrcade all started in Greensboro. Already signed would be for that card for this. Of course, it's almost 6 weeks away. At this point, it's going to be for the World Tag Team Championship rematch between the Rock and Roll Express and the Russians, Ivan and Nikita Koloff, inside a steel cage. No time limit, no disqualification, all getting ready, of course. And then they signed a match with the World Heavyweight Champion as well. And, of course, they come back with the big graphic of Starrcade 85, The Gathering. And by the time you get to The Gathering, after seeing this graphic, you'll be wishing that it's over, because they play it over and over again. Tremendous, tremendous marketing for Starrcade. Then they have the interview with Dusty. They say that this is the first time Dusty had come out. Dusty actually did really good with this, apologizing to the fan for missing his missing his dates. And then Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard comes out there. They kick the crutches out from under Dusty. Dusty goes down. Arn Anderson steals the world television belt, and it's out of there. And when Blanchard kicks the crutches out, but he broke them. You'll notice. I mean, they were in pieces. They come back, and of course, they recap. Tony and David recaps the situation with Dusty and how Arn Anderson has stolen the World Television Championship belt. Next match, awesome match coming up. United States Heavyweight Championship on the line. Tully Blanchard steals the show yet again with Baby Doll against Ron Bass. Just an awesome match. James J. Dillon at the mic commentating during the match. Had a conversation, if you will. In the end, it's Blanchard going to the top rope. Ron Bass, as he comes off, catches him with a claw. It's Baby Doll in for the disqualification as Baby Doll has Ron Bass distracted. Tully Blanchard comes from behind with the knee, goes outside the ring. Then it's Ron Bass, or it's Black Bart and Tully Blanchard doubling up on Ron Bass, takes him back in the ring. Blanchard with a slingshot suplex and follows up with Black Bart off the second rope with the Texas Trash Compactor. Jimmy Valiant and others, and I don't know who the others really were, came in, and of course Blanchard and Black Bart retreat, if you will. Interview with Jim Crockett talking about next week's Super Series Championship Challenge Series, and this time it's going to be with the Southern Heavyweight Championship as Chief Whoa McDaniels takes on the Barbarian with Paul Jones. Match number 6, Denny Brown, World Junior Champion against Randy Barber. It's Denny Brown winning with the Russian leg sweep, followed by the Oklahoma roll, and Denny Brown over that. Match number 7, Abdullah the Butcher against Jim Jeffers, and Abdullah keeping the trend going. Elbow smash on that one. Abdullah the Butcher, the winner. And I loved at the end where Paul Jones was standing on Abdullah's chest as he was still laying on Jeffers. Absolutely awesome. Match number 8, Superstar Billy Graham against John Bars. It's a headbutt followed by an elbow smash. Superstar Billy Graham's the winner. He goes over to the desk. Paul Jones is already there. He's talking about how Superstar is still under contract to him. Billy Graham goes over there and calls him a weasel. And Paul Jones has a fit. Just a fit. It's almost time he was ready for a straitjacket or something. About be a little bit overdone, but anyway, turned out all right, I guess. Interview with Tully Blanchard with Baby Doll, United States champion. He's talking about Ron Bass, Magnum TA. He's talking about Dusty Rhodes and the upcoming bunkhouse matches he's going to have. Talk about Wong McDaniels as well as Ronnie Garvin. And he also begins that relationship, still building on it, between he and the Andersons. Match number 9, and I know everybody was waiting for this one. It was Thunderfoot with James J. Dillon to face American Starship Eagle. This match was so important that TBS was afraid people might tune out, and they were running crawl down the bottom, Magnificent 7 to follow wrestling, and wrestling was in quotations. We're not sure what that meant. And we don't know who the winner is because the video ended. And that was World Championship Wrestling for October 19th, 1985. And I will take a breath now.
I want you to know, I looked up to see who won that last match, and
Okay.
according to the internet, we all won because the match ended.
Oh, beautiful. And I felt like a winner. Did you feel like a winner? I felt like a winner.
I did.
I will tell you, Black Bart had a great match with the Italian
He
Stallion.
did. This was an awesome show. The whole show was solid, I thought.
And I love seeing Wahoo.
Yeah.
Wahoo's always tremendous in his interviews and stuff, just
Not overdone. Have you noticed he wasn't overdone? He didn't overdo anything. It was just him talking. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And then Billy Graham, I'll tell you something about 29-inch arms. Superstar Billy Graham. I loved his interview. You know what? Everybody would probably say in the day's times, well, he's trying to be Hulk Hogan. No, Hulk Hogan's trying to be Billy Graham.
That's right. Dusty Rhodes' interview was very much the same as Billy Graham. Billy Graham set the standard for a lot of wrestlers.
Brady Boone, why didn't he get such a better push?
That I have no idea. I think the wrestlers get in a position and they don't see them past that position. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a big issue. As a matter of fact, I was told that by your dad. That's why he wanted me, when I went out to put guys over on Continental, it always had to be under a mask. He would never let Jack Lord go out
Well, then we see Roger Kent. He
Oh.
talks to right now. I'm going to talk to Jim Crockett Sr., and it's going to be a great card there. Tell us about Starcade 85.
Who, Jack, who did he remind you of? Who did he remind you of?
I just kept hoping during the whole thing that David Crockett was going to run in for the save because he is the only one that could talk.
Well, Roger reminds me a lot of Gene Okerlund. Right? It could be the opposite way, though. I think Roger Kent was doing announcing way before that.
I think he was.
Voice. Awesome voice.
Yeah, I always liked Roger Kent, though. I always liked him. Where did he come from? Kansas City, right?
I have no idea, really. That was the first time I knew he was you know what? I'm not sure. He might have been for Vern Gagne.
I don't remember. I remember Rod Trudgard. I used to love him too. He had the face for radio, though.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Insiders, do you know where Roger Kent was doing the commentary? Maybe it's one of them might know.
Well, I don't know, but I will tell you. Starcade 85, The Gathering.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Ron Bass, Tully Blanchard, man. I'm not a big fan. I've never been a big fan, but Ron Bass showed he could wrestle.
Yes, it was an awesome match. It was an awesome match.
Hey, what wasn't Denny Brown on this show?
Yes. Yes, he was against Randy Barber.
Well, beats the Terry Taylor match.
True. Absolutely true.
I don't ever remember what happened in the Denny Brown match. I think I froze that up.
Russian leg sweep into the Oklahoma roll, Brent. It was a surprise. It even surprised Randy Barber.
By the way, John Barnes, Carl Stiles.
Yes, John Barnes. I was wondering if that was him. Yeah.
Roger Kent, AWA Chicago. Roger Kent here.
A really great voice.
There you go.
Love that voice. And you know what? We didn't see him after that. After Starcade was over, we didn't see him again.
I don't. Who knows? Maybe they just wanted him for that. Maybe he was just going to come and do that one little thing for the Crockett's. All right, Jack, you want to talk about the T-shirts a little bit tonight? Because I think there's a special deal going on.
ProWrestlingTees.com. Big fan appreciation special. The promo code is thank you, one word, over at ProWrestlingTees.com. 20% off today, tomorrow, Thursday until about lunch. So jump over there, get you a tee, get you a discount, help us out. But more than anything else, you will be considered stylish and handsome.
Stylish and handsome.
And
don't forget that. That's you have the two good things about it. All right, guys, you ready to go and see what the insiders have got to say tonight?
Go ahead. Let's do it.
All right, Richard Hood is with us. One of our
Richard.
supporters. Actually,
He has a lot of good information, I have to admit.
Yes, Richard Hood does have some great information, and we are going to be talking about something on the supporters, just for the supporters, and it'll eventually hit YouTube. It's usually about a week or two, about sometimes 2 weeks away. But going to talk about All South Wrestling, and Richard Hood come up with that for us to talk about.
Richard, about twice a day, will send me a picture and say, "Guess who this is?"
He's got a lot of knowledge, Richard does.
He does. Kevin Barkwell. Hello, guys.
Hey, Kevin.
Michael Barr, another one of our supporters.
Hey, Michael.
Hello from the cold Southeast Alabama. Whew, I'm going to tell you what, it has been cold.
It's wintertime. Surprise.
Dr. Philbo Grice, another one of our supporters. Hello, distinguished gentlemen. Greetings from Southeast Alabama. Stuart Kemp, I'm back. My Opsy is good to go. Now, glad 8 hours. So watching Pro Wrestling Inside now. Good to hear, Stuart.
All right. Good stuff. Wow. Awesome.
Good to hear that, Stuart. Dwayne Brooks, hello from Talking Rock, Georgia. We've asked this question before where Talking Rock, Georgia is. And I believe he's told us. But, you know, they
probably
said
right next to Sleeping Stone.
Richard Hood said Dusty had to wear a specially made boot because of the broken ankle. Administrator. Yeah, now I do remember that.
Yes.
You
Instead of-
want me to
I have a.
you
What
want
was
me to
it?
tell you the
Instead of-
secret of that boot? That's
Go ahead.
spray painted one white.
Victor Nash, another one of our supporters. Hello, guys. 3 words to describe this episode. It's clobbering time.
Yeah. Got the thing going there.
Freddie a Rooster with his Bomber Jack Lord shirt. Hello, gentlemen. Hello to you.
See what I talk about being stylish and handsome? There you go. And you're set for Halloween with that shirt.
Kevin Penley said, watched an interview with Tommy Rich. Did Wahoo ever book in Georgia? I don't believe he did.
No.
I don't think he ever did. Michael Barr, did Dusty ever win the world's heavyweight title? And if so, how long did he hold it? Yes, he won it twice, didn't he? 3 times. He beat Harley Race, right?
The race. That's right.
He beat Ric Flair twice, maybe?
Right. He beat Harley Race twice. He beat him once in Florida, and he beat him again in Georgia at Atlanta. And then Ric Flair beat him, and then through all of this, Dusty becomes a champion of Flair.
Richard Hood asked this question: was Brady Boone and Billy Jack Haynes related?
That is a good question. I'm not sure. They had a lot of. They looked similar, except Brady was just shorter.
Kevin said, I think Rodney could do card promos for Continental. Well, he did them.
I did do them, and I did it for Southeastern the first time I ever did a ring announcement that day. I sound like one of the chipmunks. Charlie had laryngitis. If you can check it out. Dad's doing the commentary during the show. Yeah. It is hilarious. But you know what? All the shows were up that week.
Yeah. And at the time, business wasn't so good in Southeastern Championship Wrestling. So, Carlos Stapleton, good evening, fellows. Good evening to you, sir. Dr. Phil Grice has he's good and tired. He had a long day. I had one of those myself.
Yeah. Yes, it was Tuesday, and we knew it. I'm with you there.
Michael Barr said, Rodney, you're good at doing promos.
Thank you.
Michael Barr said, same here, great weather. Kevin Penley said, when Abdullah was younger, that guy could move for a big man. Yes, he could. Yeah. He was tremendous when he was young. Even in 1976, when he was in Atlanta, Georgia Championship Wrestling, the man could go.
Yes.
I remember one time he was going to round Dad's head into the post, and he goes for it, and Dad said he picked him up off the ground and rammed his head into the post, and he said he couldn't make no stop. He couldn't stop. Head
to post, and that was it.
That's all he remembers. He said he just
we have a picture of that somewhere.
Yeah, he said I couldn't.
One of the programs we have a picture of that.
He said he couldn't even touch the ground. He picked me up off the ground. So, and that tells you something about Abdullah the Butcher. Not only was he was a strong person. Michael Barr said another great lineup of matches. Richard Hood said, guys, wasn't Thunderfoot one of the Deatons?
Yes, both Thunderfoot were the Deatons. Vernon and Joel Deaton were the Thunderfoot. Thunderfoot 1 2.
Didn't Gene Leggin become one of them also?
I believe he did.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think when we were in Kansas City, I believe they were both the Deatons.
Yeah.
Carlos Stapleton said Chief Wahoo had the hardest chop in the business.
Yes, he did. I truly believe that is where Flair got his from.
Mm-hmm.
He copied his. I'm almost certain of it.
Victor Nash wanted to know American Starship Eagle, wasn't that actually Barry Windham?
If he was, it would have been a lot better. No, it was not. Danny
Spivey.
Hey, I don't think it was Danny Spivey's problem, though. I think it was more just
I'm with you on that. I think it's that first time we saw him, he did the Hulk Hogan leg drop. I think that turned us really off. That wasn't his fault. He was told to do that.
Oh, that was just horrible. Michael Barr said Wally McDaniel was one of those wrestlers that was good with the fans. Yes. Well, boy, he'd hurt you. I remember
Yes,
he
he
hurt
would.
us one time at the TV studio, and man,
He'd have these jewelry. He'd have watches and a bracelet on, and he got us in a double headlock and took our ears off. From now on, every time who he came next to us or came at us, we ran.
we did. We did. Great man, though. Such a great man.
And great matches. Great matches.
Richard Hughes said Billy Graham had the look and could talk. Boy, he was in shape during this interview on World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked great. And Kevin Penley did say AWA Roger Kent. Michael Barr asked if I was okay. Most of the time, no. Most of the time, no. Charles Bell Flowers said Roger Kent, AWA Chicago. I think we've seen that before.
Really good. I love listening to him. And you notice that, like I said, Mean Gene, almost identical to the delivery's the same.
Philip said you didn't like the Red Rooster.
Well, let me clarify. I love the Red Rooster. I just didn't like the guy that portrayed the character. Just so we're clear.
Terry Taylor, he was quite a character. Terry Taylor was.
He was unsweetened tea in the South.
Hey, Michael Mayfield, freeze frame.
That's what we need. Another one of those.
Michael Barr said Roger Kent had a unique voice. He did have a unique voice. There's no doubt about that. Carlisle Stapleton said the Red Rooster gimmick was a slap in Terry's face.
I wish they'd slapped Carter.
I think
Could have made him lay eggs.
I never agreed with Bobby Keenan Moore when he said Terry Taylor was a limited guy. I remember him saying that I'm taking this limited guy with limited abilities and trying to turn him into a superstar. He failed.
I think he called him the ham and egger, didn't he?
Yeah, the ham and egger, yes.
I think Terry could have been a lot better, but he had such a high opinion of himself. He wasn't willing to learn more.
No, he never was happy. And I guess he's that way now. I guess he's still that way, working somewhere. But he was never happy. He was never a happy man. I feel bad about Terry for that.
Well, he works at the Performance Center for WWE now. I think he's the one teaching leg slapping.
Apparently, and they're learning it well. WWE, we have a leg slapping good time. Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing that on the opening of every show.
They go the door and they slap their legs. I don't understand.
It's funny because I seen a drop kick the other day, and I can't remember where I was saying, and the guy did it. The guy did the slap to the leg on his way, and they do that like nobody sees it. Wrestling fans are so smart today. I don't know, but maybe just hit the guy. Just hit him. All right. Do we have to get MMA guys now to wrestle? So at least I don't want to get hurt. What? This is wrestling. This ain't the ballet. I mean, it does look like the ballet sometimes today, but Google said Kent was announcing in the AWA. I didn't watch a lot of the AWA. I don't know that was available for us back years ago.
No, we saw very little of it. We only seen it in the magazines, and then not till later did we get to see the stuff from the Showboat.
Mickey Mayfield said, didn't like the Terrence Taylor character, but it was closer to his character, though.
Yeah. Honestly, of all the characters he did, I like that one the best.
Victor Nash, Jack wants to know what kind of shirt you have on.
This is a Karrion Kross from WWEshop.com. I'm a huge fan of Killer Kross. He was on the Independents for a long time. They changed his name a little bit to Karrion Kross there in WWE. In fact, he liked my post about his shirt today. So that's pretty neat. Good dude, though. Killer. He's a real killer in the ring.
Michael Barr said, I plan on purchasing a T-shirt. Would it be safe to take my picture and wear it without breaking mirrors and computer screens?
Unless you hold it over your face, your mirrors are in jeopardy.
Touche.
Mickey Mayfield said, "Why didn't Jerry Blackwell get a push in Georgia World Championship Wrestling?" I don't. I know he was there when we first got there. I think when it went maybe in 1972, 73, but I don't remember Jerry Blackwell being there.
No, he wasn't. He was a lot in the AWA, from what I remember.
Now he did eventually go run Georgia. What was that wrestling that Jimmy Powell and Chris? What was it called? Was it Southern?
I believe so.
Southern Championship Wrestling, and Jerry Blackwell did run that for maybe 2 years.
Yeah,
because he actually lived in Stone Mountain, Georgia, didn't he?
Yep, sure did.
Charles Bellflower said Roger Kent would interview Nick Bockwinkel and send the tape to Atlanta TV when Bockwinkel came down in 1978 as the AWA champion.
Yeah, and that was some great stuff. He and Heenan both were down there. There was some really good stuff. That was where Bockwinkel was showing the figure 4, and with Gordon in the ring and Wrestling 2 came in and cleaned house and hit Gordon while he was at it. Did you remember that?
Yeah. And
then finished the show up.
One of the biggest crowds that ever was they ran there was Nick Bockwinkel told everybody that anybody that wore white socks was beneath people like himself, that people with class didn't wear white socks. And then, and he was going against Mr. Wrestling 2, and it sold out the Omni by just talking about white socks. And, that's a simpler time when you did not have to run somebody over in the car, which WWE, I believe, have run somebody over in the car at least 10 times.
Well, and they ran somebody over with a golf cart the other night.
Oh, wow.
Wow, there you go. I'm going to tell you one of the most.
Bicycle for next.
I'd watched an episode of NXT, and one of the most dangerous places to be in NXT is the dressing room.
Yeah,
I would just be in my car and put my stuff on, and I'd wait in there until they came and got me. Man, everybody gets jumped in the dressing rooms next day. They need some security. That's what we need to do. We need to tell them we need to come to Orlando, the Performance Center. Is that where they're still doing that NXT yet?
Yeah.
Or are they doing it that other sale?
No, they've got 2 different buildings that they run out of. But yeah, it's the Performance Center. What do they call it? The Capital Sports Center or something like that now, I believe.
Oh, they're naming it after the original name of the wrestling company.
Yeah.
Carlos Stapleton said one of the best I worked with was Archie Goldie, the Mongolian Stomper. Yes. Barber, did you ever work the Stomper?
Never got the opportunity to even meet him.
He was a good guy. Sometimes he can be very moody.
That's right.
Let's see. Brent Rodney, did your dad have any special territory that he reffed? I think he liked Georgia more than anywhere. Because he didn't really do a lot of refereeing after Georgia, really.
No. And in fact, Georgia's the beginning of where he got out of the ring, and he hated it because he missed out. He liked being out there, and he also he missed the working out. He got his training in him.
I mean, he did referee Mid-South Wrestling, but
and
Continental, but he was doing the other jobs as well.
Right.
I think it's just because they didn't want to pay nobody else, and he was there, so they might as well use him to. Flair's punches were bad. Y'all think Flair's punches were bad?
I don't think they're bad. I just think his chops are better.
Rodney?
If he'd only slapped his leg when he threw a punch, it would have been
there you go. Well, that's what we're missing.
That's right. That's what Kevin's missing as well.
Richard Hood said, Abdullah told me one time when you got hit by Wahoo, you have been hit.
That's right. He didn't play. Wahoo did not play. Ronnie Garvin didn't play either when he threw his chop. He didn't play.
Wahoo is one of those guys that I wished I could have got the ring with at least one time.
Philip was laughing about something. I'm pretty sure something we did.
talking about me not liking the red wrister.
Okay. Victor Nash said Dusty Rhodes was a heel until 1974 in a tag match. Dusty and Pac Song with Gary Hart against Mike and Eddie Graham. And it's on YouTube. If you've not seen it, folks, take Victor's advice. Get over there and watch that spectacular stuff.
Yes, it is awesome. And you know what? You'll not find there's no joking in that. It's no comedy.
Michael Barr said it was either Terry Taylor's way or no way.
I would have chose the no way.
Yeah.
Philip said Terry's high opinion of himself. Is this the difference between him and Bill Goldberg?
It's the difference between he and a ring post.
Bill Goldberg knew what he was good at and stuck to it. And the promotion played to his strengths. So, Goldberg made millions of dollars for the company, made millions of dollars for himself. They both deserved it because business was done right. You couldn't have done that with Terry Taylor.
No. Ron Woodard said Terry Taylor was on the same level as Tim Horner. No.
I will object. I will object to that. I will object to that. No. Terry Taylor and Tim Horner are not the same at all. Period. Terry Taylor did not take the wrestling business seriously. That was the problem. He thought he was too good. That's my opinion. You can write that down.
Jack?
Tim Horner was in a position of, that was a time when most of those promoters like Bill Watts wanted the big, huge guys, and he would overlook guys like Tim Horner and so many others that could actually go in that ring and get great crowd response and could have carried a company on their shoulders. But instead, he was, no offense to Jim Duggan, but Jim Duggan was not a guy to carry the company with. Tim Horner could have done it.
Yeah, Tim was a whole lot better wrestler than Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor could have been, but he tried to go the extra stuff that he did that made it, and especially when he went to do when they turned him heel and he tried to do the Ric Flair. Man, that was horrible.
That was horrible. His interviews were not watchable. They just not. He was insincere, and you could tell it. People can tell if you're BSing them, and that's exactly how he came over. I said, "Oh no, we got Terry again. We're going to listen to him read his interview again."
He did write his interviews. Victor Nash said, "I think the person with the hardest shot was Chief Wally McDaniel."
Yes.
Kevin Penley said Dusty Rhodes was the first leg slap I saw.
Well,
I never saw
Dustin Rhodes. I thought he meant
Dustin Rhodes. Dustin Rhodes.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, Dustin does it. He just doesn't do it all the time.
Dustin, you need to know that Kevin, he saw you do the slap. So evidently you're not fooling nobody. So when are they going to get there? They're not really fooling nobody. And people see it. I mean, it makes no sense. It's like using profanity in wrestling today. It makes no sense. It is done so often that nobody cares. They just don't care. You can use fuller words all you want. Why do they care? You do it every week. Ole Anderson explained it. He said, if you go down and you see a wreck, and he said that first time you see the wreck and you stop and you look, he said 20 miles down the road you see another wreck and still it gets you a little bit. He said by the time you go down and you've seen 4 wrecks, by that time you get to the 4th, you don't care.
That's right.
And that's what they've done. They've done stuff so much that people just don't care, and they have to do something a little different. Don't get me wrong. They're making $600 million a year. I'm not, but still, Carlos Stapleton, maybe I should do a leg slap when I got the band.
Do an echo.
And when you're doing your counts, 1, 2, 3.
Kevin said AWA was on ESPN. Yeah, I never really watched it. I did watch it during the when the Rockers was there.
I did. The first time I remember watching it was Kurt Hennig against Nick Bockwinkel for the entire 1-hour episode. and it was one of those where you were really mad when the commercials came on because it was so good.
Richard Hood said, fellas, they need Bill Watts to show them how to throw a punch.
There you go.
But now I'm gonna tell you, I've seen some videos of his punches wasn't sometimes not good either. Now he did show Bird Darso one time how to kick somebody while they're down. He got him down and kicked him.
That was awesome.
That's crazy. Kevin Skelton said AW on ESPN in the mid '80s was not entertaining. I'm being generous to the product.
There was some good stuff there, but I agree with you, Kevin. Overall, well, I don't know that it was bad. It's just not what we're used to here.
No.
Yeah.
A different kind. It's like New York style wrestling. I thought Bruno Sammartino was huge, and a legend. I don't know that he would have got over as big down here in the South.
No, he didn't. They brought him to Georgia. And it was not good.
Michael Barr said, Jag and Brent, I like the T-shirts behind you there. Thank you so much. A lot of people behind me over here. Ronnie West, Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, Chief Wally McDaniels, and who's behind me? I can't tell that. Ted DiBiase, Steve Williams over there, I believe. And then who else is that? Oh, the Rock and Roll Express.
Missing Link and Dark Journey.
Ron Woodard said AWA was dull as dirt.
Could be. Yeah, sure could.
Richard Hood said the referee, the Wolfman, is Jerry Blackwell's son.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Michael Barr, why is it so tough to find pictures of some of the old school wrestlers, the ones that are still living? I don't know. It's most of the time nobody remembers them for one thing. That's the reason we wanted to do this, because there were people that just, they just don't remember. Mickey Mayfield said Bockwinkel's title was the largest I had seen at the time.
Yeah,
they did have a huge belt. Richard Hood said Blackwell ran a good promotion in Georgia.
Yeah, it was really good.
Ron Woodard said, wasn't your dad in Smoky Mountain? Yes, he was there for a while. I can't remember how long he was there, but yes, he did. He did work for Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I went down one time. That was the only time I ever went. I didn't even go to the show. I think I went to Jim Cornette's house. But that's another story that we'll have to tell one day. Michael Barr, Jack, do you know where Boris Zukov is now?
He was in the Carolinas. He was on Facebook up till about 2 years ago, and I used to talk with him fairly regular. And I think he just got tired of all the negativity out there, just in general over social media, and he quit. But as far as I know, he's still doing fine driving a truck.
Kevin Skelty said, why are wrestlers today hitting with forearms instead of throwing punches?
MMA influence. But now it's not just today. I mean, Dory Jr. was huge on those forearm uppercuts, and done correctly. They're more devastating than a punch, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's Stan Hansen, the Superstar, Ole, all did forearms.
Yeah.
Remember, punching is against the rules. So they should be used sparingly.
Victor asked a question, but I'm not for sure with what you're asking there, Victor. So I'll go past that because I don't know exactly what you said. How do I go from a supporter to a fan?
That's on the Facebook page, and I don't know how you become a top fan. It just arbitrarily Facebook will notify you and say, "Hey, you want this badge?"
Okay,
and that's it.
All right, so I didn't know that was. I didn't know that. I did see top fans, and I've seen it before, but I didn't know they gave you a badge. I didn't know that much. They changed.
I don't know what the algorithm is for that, because like Tommy Tuberville, former Auburn coach, ran for senator here in Alabama. I went to his page one time, and the next day I got a badge of being a top fan.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't know that it's even how it works. So I have to re-educate myself on Facebook almost every month because they change things.
Yeah, that doesn't come from our end. That's a Facebook thing, I believe.
Ron, I stand corrected. Hey, it's everybody's.
Hey,
Ron, I'm just sorry.
All have our opinions, brother. That's
right. You can have
being respectful about it is the way we do business.
I respectfully disagree, though. That's what we do. We have conversation here.
That's
You
right.
should
But
see us. If you thought that was bad, you should see us when we're not on there. It gets downright heated in here.
Here's some of that stuff.
Or you even actually, if we make a trip together, how bad that's going to
Shoo, yeah, let's pull out and get a drink sometimes.
be.
Get out of this car.
Objection to your honor there, Rodney. Agreed. Kevin said in Kansas City, they call Ted DiBiase Ted Dieblis.
DiBiase.
DiBiase,
And
all
Dad
right.
also called him that. It
Yes.
just depends, I guess.
Michael Barr said too much leg slapping going on in here. Bob Welch is with us. Who was the worst rider in WCW? I think that would.
Vince Russo. Say it after me.
That's
The
right.
worst person. I'm sorry. Worst wrestler. Worst rider. I can't just put Vince Russo's name in there when it comes to worst.
Yeah, he was horrible. He was horrible. He
Oh,
had this. He had this teenage mindset of having names like Major Guns and just
He came up with some good stuff. He really did. The problem with Vince Russo is without Vince McMahon being over him to filter that stuff, you saw what he was when nobody was pulling him back.
yes.
At least with McMahon, he could make sense out of some of this off the wall stuff and make it work. Russo by himself can't light a match.
Philip said I was more offended by the Monday Night Messiah than the cuss words. Yes, I was.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's kind of the reason I had a hard time watching it. It's just no reason for that. But Vince McMahon, for some reason, just continues on to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mickey Mayfield said, "You keep legs slapping, you'll go blind."
Yeah.
Good. That's good.
Richard Hood, you guys remember when Terry Taylor, Bobby Fulton tagged in World Championship Wrestling? Yeah, the Georgia Championship Wrestling Superstars. Yes, we remember it well. That was the first time we come to the conclusion we didn't like Terry Taylor. But
That is true. That is absolutely true.
how do you? I don't, Victor. I think you actually become a top fan when you become a supporter. You get a supporter badge. I think you can have that supporter badge took off, can't you? You can have it removed, I believe, if you did want it on there, and then possibly the top fan would come back on there if you were a top fan. I don't know really how that works. I'd have to look more into it and see how it works on Facebook. Like I said, they changed things so drastically you can't keep up with them. Michael Roller, how you say it?
Rollerson.
Rollerson. yes.
Rollerson. What is going on, guys? Michael, we are just talking professional wrestling. Let's see. Michael Barr said, Victor, when you become a supporter, I think you are a top fan. I might be wrong. Yes, you are a top fan. Really being a supporter and that supporter badge kind of means more than the top fan badge. Wouldn't you think so, Jack?
Oh, yeah.
Kevin said, wasn't Global on ESPN. Man, that show was horrible. What
They
did Joe?
had
that was
good talent there with it Global. I just don't like the direction.
That's the first time I saw Marcus Alexander Bagwell. He was
Yeah.
like a masked man or something.
He was the something stranger.
Handsome stranger.
Handsome stranger. That's right. He was going around giving the women flowers.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah. Stuart Kemp said, I hated commercials during what was seemingly the hot spots. Granted, it was needed to get fans in the door. Mickey Mayfield said, Sammartino Jr. never got over here either. No, he did not. No,
Yeah,
boy.
And I worked a lot of cards with David, and super nice guy. And Laura he and Joel Deaton used to have some matches where they would come to the back and they would just be bleeding in the chest from all the heavy chops they'd put in there. And the crowd would go wild. But that's in the independents. As far as big time, he didn't get that reaction.
I know
Great guy though.
I know Les Thornton didn't like him. He busted him up really bad one time.
On national TV. for that.
Yes. Yeah. Kevin said you have to have a Facebook got to be an insider. No. You could be a part. We actually have an Instagram page, which we don't do a lot of advertising and telling people we have an Instagram page because it's some of the same photographs that we do on Facebook. But no, you can either be on Facebook or on YouTube, and you are one of the insiders. Because we do a lot of stuff. I don't think a lot of people probably on Facebook realize, but we do a lot of stuff that never even gets on Facebook. It's only on YouTube.
Well, I think too, he's asking about how to be a supporter if he doesn't have a Facebook account.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you do have to be a supporter. You do have to support on Facebook. There is a way that we can do a supporter on YouTube, but I would have to watch a couple of videos and figure out how to do that. It takes a while to figure out how to do all this stuff. There's a lot to do in Facebook page, YouTube pages. It becomes a lot to it. All right. Well, let me go through some of these people real quick. Victor Nash said, "Are you guys are any of you guys have any plans on going to WrestleMania this year?"
I'm on me at WrestleMania in my recliner.
Michael Barr said, "When I watched the WFW, it just turned me off when the announcers every week say, I've never seen anything like this in my whole life." Well, they got that from Nick Goulas, biggest card ever signed.
That's right. Biggest card ever signed.
Mike said, "You did it again." It's all good. I never get his name right. I'm sorry, Mike. I don't know. I'm not good with names, though. I shouldn't even be reading this stuff. Richard Hood said, "Did Joe Penasino have a hand in Global Wrestling Federation?" I think
Yes.
he did, didn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah. I think he was part owner.
Let's see. Where's the place that you all three go when leaving this podcast? I'm trying to follow or have been. I sent you a message, and all you have to do is click on it. You just click on it, and we're going to talk All South Wrestling. I'm not for sure we're going to get all through all this, this whole stuff that we have to talk about. We may have to do it in 2 or 3 parts. So, but if you've not become a supporter, after this we go. And a lot of times now we talk about things, and sometimes we'll go 20 minutes in between each one of the things that you see on YouTube that you don't see on anything else. Some things that we
sometimes we get fired up.
That's right. We talk about things that we don't talk about here, and things that we probably wouldn't talk about on this show.
I have to say many times now, this is not going to be broadcast, is it? No,
it does do that.
If you're going to post it, I'm not going to say
it. So it's very easy to do. You just click on the Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Inside Now, and it says become a supporter on the main page. Just click on it and follow the directions. It's $2.99 a month. And what that does is helps us buy these microphones and cameras and lights and everything else that we want to do, because we got some big plans. It takes a little bit of money to do it. And so we're hoping to do a lot of things.
I'll lay on pictures of Terry Taylor so we can throw darts at.
All right, guys, we got to get off here. Jack, anything we need to talk to the fans, the insiders, before we leave?
Pat Rose wrestled for Global.
Yeah.
When Ann Goka was on her.
Hey, Pat Rose said he wrestled for Global.
Now, there were 2 different Globals. There was Global for Ann, and then there was Global that was out in Texas that Pedicino was owner of.
Came from Sportatorium, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to get off of here. Pat Rose, thank you so much for coming on. Pat, you need to come back on, and we need to talk with you on one of these programs, and maybe get your. Oh man!
Well,
we're not even going to go what Pat Rose just said. You know, this is a family oriented program.
Oh, there, it's trying to get.
Well, he's laughing.
All right, guys. I appreciate everybody. We appreciate all the insiders for being a part of our. If you've not went to our YouTube channel, please go there. And
Victor wants to know what our episode is for next week for our World Championship Wrestling.
I don't know yet because they're so hard to find. So
can we post it? You think we could post it one day when we finally find out?
Yeah, when I find out, and it'll probably be tomorrow night or Thursday. I'll put that on and Stuart Kemp said, Pat, ouch.
Hey, I do have one thing before we go. I almost forgot. Any of you guys that's in the Alabama area, I'm going to be in Boaz, Alabama this Saturday night. They've got a big memorial show for a lot of wrestlers who have passed on. Not vouching for quality of the show or whatever. But, it's where I started years ago. The owner and I have remained friends all these years. And I'm, if you guys want to come out, I'll be there all evening. Pat Rose, you can come out too. So, anyway, there's my plug.
Boaz, Alabama. It's the sports arena, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Boaz on Highway.
Just look for the sign that says midgets.
Oh, well, all right.
All right, then.
Not even midgets there.
All right, folks, thank you so much. And we will see you next week live. And if you're a supporter, we'll see you in just a moment. Thank you so much. And we love each and every moment we get to come on here and talk about professional wrestling. We'll see you later right here on Pro Wrestling Inside Now.